Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the August regular monthly meeting of the Delaware Muncie Metropolitan Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. So if you can, please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Billington,
Here.
Ms. Brannon, Ms. Fritsch,
Present.
Ms. Kaiser,
Present.
Ms. Knapp,
I'm here.
Ms. Mathewson.
Here.
Okay, so we have 5 members present, so we do have a quorum.
The next matter on the agenda is consideration of the minutes from our July monthly meeting. The chair would entertain a motion on that.
I would make a motion to approve the July monthly meeting minutes as presented.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Fritsch,
Yes.
Ms. Kaiser,
Yes.
Ms. Knapp,
Yes.
Mr. Billington,
Yes.
Ms. Mathewson.
Yes.
5 yeses, so that is approval of the July minutes.
Okay. Thank you. I guess I want to go over some housekeeping rules or kind of explain this evening. So when your case is called, if you can, please come to the podium and give us your name and address. Everybody who wants to have a say, whether you're in agreement with what is being requested or whether you object to it, both sides would have an opportunity to speak this evening. And I would just ask that everybody be courteous to others, even if their opinions may be different from yours. Also would request, if you have cell phones, if you can silence those or turn them off. And for this evening, in order for your case to be concluded one way or the other, it will, we have a, would be 4. We'd have 4.
Yes.
Yep. So we would have to have 4 of the board members this evening to make a determination whether for or against your case in order for it to have official action this evening. If we do not have a 4-1 vote or 5-0 vote, then your case would automatically be continued into our September meeting. I think we're ready to proceed forward this evening with our new business.
BZA 32-25 Jurisdiction Board of Zoning Appeals. Being a public hearing on the matter of an application filed by Muncie Aviation Company, 5201 North Walnut Street, Muncie, Indiana, requesting a variance from the terms of the Delaware County Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance to allow access for the restaurant through an ingress-egress agreement with the airport, and to allow some parking in ADA spaces off-site and reduced side and rear setbacks, all for a new restaurant on premises located at 5201 North Walnut Street, Hamilton Township, Delaware County, Indiana, as more accurately described in the application.
Nick Tokar, Tokar, address 400 South Walnut, I'm sorry, my old address, 400 West Jackson Street, Muncie, Indiana, 47305. Attorney representing Muncie Aviation. I think at prior public meetings, Kathy Benice had represented them from Ashton. She's out of town, so you've been downgraded to me tonight. With me is Brittany Ray, Vice President at Muncie Aviation. Got Julie Baring, their real estate broker, who's helping with the underlying transaction. It's all part of a request to subdivide a parcel. This would be the building that had housed restaurants throughout the years. I think before my time in town, there was a really popular restaurant called Vince's out there, and we took grab another really popular restaurant out there. But to subdivide that parcel, it does not have direct access to Walnut Street, so you see the request in there for the ingress, egress, easement, and I think all the rest of the variance requests are laid out pretty clearly in that summary, as was read by Eileen. So if you have questions for me or anyone with me tonight that we can answer, I'd be happy to, but otherwise, thank you for your consideration.
So it appears then, I think you addressed it a little bit, but there will be an ingress, egress, and a parking easement agreement that will be prepared.
That's correct.
Okay. And it's my understanding, and maybe Eileen can talk a little bit about this. This has gone before the plat committee, is that correct?
Yes, yes. Yeah, so that would be for the division of land, and, they also then recommend this process, be completed.
Does any of the other board members have any questions?
Could you just elaborate a little bit on the, I guess, the development plan or the why behind the request? I'm not sure I fully understand.
Okay, so the parcel's being sold, and the parcel that's being subdivided, I don't know if you have a map of it in front of you, but it does not have direct Walnut access. So in front of the building, there's a little bit of parking, and then there's more parking. So this would be the east side of the building. That parking's owned by the Delaware County Airport Authority. That's who's gonna grant the easement in between. So that's one of the specific reasons we're here in front of this body looking for the variance.
And is it correct that this is being divided off in order to be sold? Just that portion?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else have any other further questions? Okay, hearing none, then you can have a seat there, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak in favor of BZA 32-25? Okay. Seeing none, then the chair would request if there's anybody in opposition to BZA 32-25. If so, this would be your opportunity to speak. Okay. Seeing none, then the chair would entertain a motion as to the request for the variance.
I will make a motion to approve BZA 32-25 with the conditions stated therein.
We have a
No conditions, just with, you mean with the hardship stated within?
Yeah,
Okay, just to clarify.
yeah, sorry, I was reading the plat,
Okay.
committee's conditions that were on here, so.
Thank you.
I second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Do you have anything? Let's see, who were we at here? Ms. Kaiser,
Yes.
Ms. Knapp,
Yes.
Mr. Billington,
Yes.
Ms. Fritsch,
Yes.
Ms. Mathewson.
Yes.
Okay, so that is 5 yeses, so that is approval of BZA 32-25. Our office will provide you with certification of that approval, which will allow you to move forward with your plating process, development process, including any permits needed, and all the other things. Thank you.
Yes, and again, once your case is completed, you are free to leave.
Thank you.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
BZA 33-25 Jurisdiction Board of Zoning Appeals, being a public hearing on the matter of an application filed by JRF Management LLC, 1924 North Elm Street, Muncie, Indiana, requesting a variance of use from the terms of the City of Muncie Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance to allow a multifamily duplex unit to operate in a residence zone, to allow a new duplex together with an existing dwelling for a total of 3 dwellings in a single-family residence zone on premises located at the northwest corner of North Madison Street and East Berkeley Street, Muncie, as more accurately described in the application.
Hello, I'm Joe Jackson with JRF Management. It's my son and I, we own that LLC. And we actually own the house right on the corner, which was in terrible shape, and when we bought it, it had 3 lots with it. So we renovated the house right on the corner for my father and my stepmother, and my father's now deceased. My stepmother lives there. So on the other lots, I mean, we're actually in the process of subdividing the lots. It's 3 lots, but 1 parcel, but when we're done, it'll be 2 parcels. And so we'd like to put a duplex on the other parcel that's undeveloped at this point. We own other properties, and it seems like there's a big demand for properties in Muncie, so we thought this would be the best way to answer that. It's a nice area too, right there.
And I think as part of your packet, you have put together like a drawing set with the layout with regard to the duplex.
Yes, there's 2, there are actually 5-bedroom units, 2 of them. And I have 6 children. My son, he has 5 children, and we've firsthand experienced how hard it is to find a large unit for a family. So we thought, well, we'll build these large, and if somebody doesn't need all 5 bedrooms, then they've got an office, or they've got a sewing room, plus they have 2 or 3 bedrooms as well. So anyway, we're trying to be flexible with the needs of the community. Large units are hard to find.
So have you reached out to any of the neighbors with regard to what your proposal would be?
Absolutely. I walked the neighborhood, and I stopped at like 15 houses, but I only found like about 8 people home. So
Sure.
I asked them, I explained what it is, I showed them the drawing, and I had no negative comments. Everybody thought it'd be a good development just for a vacant piece of land right there. We're just right across the street from an apartment complex, you know, but they don't have large units, so.
Does anybody have any other questions? Okay. Then I guess you might be, but if you want to have a seat then, sir.
If anybody has questions for me, I'd be glad to answer.
Right, I'm not hearing, I'm not sure if Delaney has any questions.
Well,
Well, you're intensely looking, so that's why I was just wanting to make sure.
I don't have any questions. Thank you. I know.
Anybody else wanting to speak in favor of BZA 33-25? Okay. Seeing none, anybody wishing to speak in opposition to BZA 33-25? Also not seeing anybody, then the chair would entertain a motion with regard to the applicant's request.
Sorry, I actually do have a question. but
Okay.
it's more about, so with the intent to split the property to have it replatted, is that something legally they'll have to do with if they don't have a variance for that, or is that a condition we need to place upon this in order for that, to make sure that happens?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Fred, but I believe they have stated that is their intent, but they would not be bound to that by this decision.
Okay, but if we wanted to, they're not gonna be legally required to do that if we don't put the condition on the approval of this variance.
Well, they couldn't build over.
We've already contacted the company, it's already in process, we already owe them money. It's just a matter of them finishing it up.
Sure.
So it sounds like they'd be agreeable to such a condition if you wanted to put that on
Okay.
there.
Then I will make a motion to approve BZA 33-25 with the condition that they split the property so that the single-family home is on one plat and the duplex is on another.
I'd second that.
So we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Knapp,
Yes.
Mr. Billington,
Yes.
Ms. Fritsch,
Yes.
Ms. Kaiser,
Yes.
Ms. Mathewson.
Yes.
Okay, so that's 5 yeses. That is approval of BZA 33-25. We will provide you with the certification of that, and you can move forward with your permitting and other processes. Thank you.
Thank you.
BZA 34-25, Jurisdiction Board of Zoning Appeals, being a public hearing on the matter of an application filed by Daniel C. Newhouse, 4313 North Janney Avenue, Muncie, Indiana, requesting a variance of use from the terms of the City of Muncie Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance to allow a reduced front setback for a proposed 20-foot by 22-foot carport in a residence zone on premises located at 4313 North Janney Avenue, Muncie, as more accurately described in the application.
Hi, Daniel Newhouse, 4313 North Janney Avenue, Muncie. So yeah, we're just trying to put a carport in residential area, so something we wanted for quite a while, just because we don't have an interior garage. And let's see, we attempted for 25 feet. I was asked to bring it back to 20, so we're submitting for 20 feet now. I have a pressure wash business as well, so that is part of the reason for the request, simply to protect, cars and basically just depreciates faster without the carport there. So that's the main reason I'm asking for it. I think I was told within 30 feet is why I needed the variance. So it was going to be 12 feet from the street, and then with the reducing back to 20 feet, it'll be about 17 feet from the street. So
Have you spoke with your neighbors about this?
yes, I have. So I've spoken with just the surrounding neighbors. They don't have any issue with it. I did not go, to streets over or anything, but just next door neighbors. So.
I think your application says that you would have a professional install the carport.
Yeah, correct. It'd be direct structures. I think they're off of 67, but yeah, it'd be professionally installed. I wouldn't be doing it myself. So.
Okay. And it's also my understanding that this would be for your own personal automobiles.
Yeah, correct. So like I said, it's something that we were thinking about getting just because we don't have any garage to store our vehicles in. And then after I started the business, it would be, for both essentially, but I do have one commercial vehicle, just a regular truck, but that is the primary reason, so.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions of the applicant?
I'm just curious, because it's getting so close to the road, but there's no turn or there's nothing that's gonna impair the vision of people driving down the road.
No, I have 3 kids myself, so if it was, I wouldn't have asked for it. So, yeah, it's going to be far enough off that we can still have a good view.
Okay.
So,
I have a question. You stated you do have a business. Is your intent to use this to conduct your business?
no,
or-
yeah. So just to be clear, I don't do any business on my property. It's a service business. I go to other people's houses. I just have equipment sitting in my truck, so it just helps protect it from weather. But yeah, I don't do any business on my property. So.
That's the understanding we were under. I just wanted to make sure and have you
Okay.
clarify that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else wishing to speak in favor of BZA 34-25? Okay. Seeing none, anybody wishing to speak in opposition to BZA 34-25? Okay. Seeing none, then the chair would entertain a motion on the request by the applicant.
I will make a motion to approve BZA 34-25 with the hardships stated therein.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, then roll call, please.
Mr. Billington,
Yes.
Ms. Fritsch,
Yes.
Ms. Kaiser,
Yes.
Ms. Knapp,
Yes.
Ms. Mathewson.
Yes.
5 yeses, so that is approval of BZA 34-25. Our office will provide you with certification of that approval, which will allow you to proceed with seeking out your permits. You will turn in, is this in city? So the city building commissioner, you could contact them to kind of ask them of their time frame on that. I can't really speak on what their time frame is currently. Uh-huh.
So then, the next order of business then is the report from our director.
Okay, so I've got your numbers there for you. These are the same as last time. I'm gonna start reporting the month after. I have been doing it to the date, and then since this meeting is the last couple days of the month, then I have to go back and add a day or two. So anyway, next month we'll get new numbers, but these are just through the end of July, so I've already actually reported those to you guys. On our MPO side, we have had our TIP, which is our 4-year transportation improvement program, approved. Ours had been approved by NDOT and Federal Highway. And then just today, we got word that the state's was approved by Federal Highway. So therefore, by them referencing ours in theirs, everybody's approved. These are the projects that we plan with the money that we receive allocated through Federal Highway. So for fiscal year 2026, our office received $3,389,595. Those are dispersed to the local public agencies doing road projects, bridge projects, trail projects, and whatnot. So they apply for those monies through our office, and then we are able to give them those funds to help out with those projects. The local agencies are still required to provide a 20% match on that. So this just helps them not have to cover 100% of the project. They only have to cover 20% with local funds. I did list out the projects that we have, the local urban projects that we have in our TIP. The first two have continued from our last 4-year TIP cycle. Phases continued. There's preliminary engineering phases, there's right-of-way phases, there's construction phases. So Tillotson from Kilgore to McGalliard is in its last construction phase right now, but that is continuing into the fiscal year 2026. That was a $3.4 million project. McGalliard from Granville to the bypass is also one that is continuing into fiscal year 2026. The state fiscal year starts in July, so it's not a calendar year. That one is a $2.3 million project. And then our two new projects that were added for the next 4 years are a intersection improvement roundabout at Cowan Road and Fusen Road. That's a $4.5 million project. And then an intersection improvement project roundabout at Tiger Drive and River Road. And that is a $3.8 million project. So those are the projects that our MPO funds are going to help sponsor for the next 4 years. Other items, the Delaware County ADA transition plan was complete. I think I let you guys know last meeting that we were working on this. I only brought one copy if you want to sift through it after this, but it's, you know, a 200-page document here. It was an assessment of all the county-owned buildings. There's pictures in here. There's suggestions of things that, how things could be fixed. It identifies anything that's not currently ADA compliant in any of those buildings. It does provide cost estimates and project suggestions of how to fix those. So everybody can take a look at that if they would like, and this is also on our website. The Plan Commission had our meeting that discussed the solar ordinance. That took place on August 12th. There was a favorable recommendation from that board that will go back to the commissioners, and then the commissioners will hear that recommendation at their September 15th meeting. So there was a few amendments and changes at that meeting, and then it will go back to the commissioners for them to take final action. Last time we passed out rules of procedure for this committee. I did not receive any comments back. So I think our next step is to work on getting a special meeting scheduled to go over those and approve or adopt those, basically. And then also just to note, next week's is the start of county budget hearings. Next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all day are county budget hearings. So I think we are actually scheduled for our first appearance Wednesday at around 10 o'clock. So we'll report back on that, but we will be presenting our budget to county council and hoping for the best. Is there any questions?
Well, we know, I guess we had a meeting like we had tonight. Perhaps we could just take up the rules of procedure in a short meeting. When will we know how much business we have on our next meeting?
Our next application deadline is the 3rd. Okay. So yeah, the deadline is always like 3 weeks before the meeting. So each month we'll know how much business we have on the agenda.
What do you guys think if we had 5 or fewer cases, going ahead and taking up our rules of procedure at the next meeting? And if we have more, setting a special meeting? Does that sound reasonable.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think I'm open to that, as long as,
Yes.
as long as there's not 5 complicated cases that take, I mean, we never actually know, right? But
Right.
sometimes 5 cases could go on for a long time, so I think
We'll
it just
leave that.
depends
Leave that in the hands of our director and
Yeah,
Right,
and we
yes.
could always, I believe, put it on the agenda and then, continue if needed.
I think that would be a great compromise
Yes.
there.
And in the meantime, you can always, submit like any comments that you guys have for it. Any suggestions also. Okay, thank you.
And then, that would conclude the meeting and I guess request a motion to adjourn then.
Motion to adjourn.
So we are adjourned for the evening. Thank you, folks.